Dreams do come true. I mean, if you're like me and you love the Dreamcast, they come true with what's in this box here. So what we have here today, and I'm going to be sharing with you guys, is, in my opinion, emphasis on my opinion, is the best Dreamcast money can buy. So yeah, this is not just the Dreamcast shell in the box. Yeah, retro is cool, especially what's in here, but let's get into it. So this Dreamcast here is modded the heck out. Look at how beautiful that is. A freaking transparent orange Dreamcast, fantastic colors. Kind of goes with my orange and black Nintendo 64. This thing right here, we've got HDMI with the latest DC digital build, the option out there, the HW2. And then we also have where our disk drive is replaced with an M2 drive where we just load up games. And there's a few other little modifications going on here, but I wanted to share this with you guys, see all the different features we got going on, and just kind of talk about it. So this is from Stone Age Gamer. I've been buying things from Stone Age Gamer for years. They've been around for a long time. I first found out about them due to their bit boxes they were making for retro cartridges, and then the customizations that they were doing for EverDrives from Cricks. I've bought tons of flash cards from these guys. Recently, I was like, man, I want to get a Dreamcast that has the latest Pixel FX DC digital mod to it. And I was checking out Stone Age Gamer, went through their Dreamcast builder options and build the Dreamcast. They hit me up. We're like, hey, were you going to make a video on this? So they hooked it up even further. So yes, they partnered with me on this video. They added a bunch of other stuff that I originally wasn't looking at. So yeah, it's kind of cool the way they have that set up, and they've expanded on it as well with the Sega Saturn, the GameCube, and from what I'm understanding, I think they're going to be expanding it further to other consoles down the road. But essentially what you do is you go in, you build a console, either you provide your own for the different modifications or you buy a console from them. You select all different options. Do you want it recap? Do you want a different color shell? Do you want HDMI? Do you want different, ODE options if they're available, different LEDs, all sorts of things, right? And the more options you choose, they do discount the overall price. So for sure, it can get quite expensive if you go all in on every single service and mod that they offer. But I feel the pricing is fair. I mean, you're just paying for the individual components. And then for certain things, an installation fee, the more complicated stuff like the DC digital, to have that installed, you're going to pay a fee for that. But yeah, let's go ahead and take a look at this and see how everything works here. Really digging this orange, like I said. But the first thing I want to point out real quick is we do have a Terra Onion mode installed in here, and it's secure, all that good stuff. But with this M2 Easy Access build that they set up here, which is an option, I found this really cool. Instead of having to take the shell off, go in there and manipulate things to add your games, just pop this out. They provide the cable, plug it in, and then plug it into your PC and add your games to that drive. And it's very quick too. A lot faster than when I've added games to like an SD card. Now, they don't provide games. That's something you got to do yourself. They're just, selling these modifications and systems and whatnot. But all right, let's go ahead and check out what this thing actually could do. So with the Terra Onion mode, we have all of our games loaded up on that M2 drive. I don't have everything that I want, but most of my favorites are here. I'm still working on it, checking out the actual dumps of these games, making sure everything runs. And with the cover database, all your actual retail games that released will show the covers here. If it's a prototype or a homebrew, it may not. I also have a folder here of Atomis Wave, all the Atomis Wave games that have been ported to Dreamcast, like Dolphin Blue, Samurai Showdown 6, Rumblefish, Neo Geo Battle Coliseum. Love that game. But then I also have the Web Browser 2.0. You may be like saying, why? Well, I do have a Dreamcast Live modem that I'm going to be getting set up, so I could be playing some of these online games online with an actual Dreamcast. I think that'll be sweet. But real quick, let's take a look at the options with the mode. You can change the game list to just, words or the covers, depending on what you prefer. If you have a lot of games that the covers don't show up, you may want to just leave it on the list. Then auto regen, VGA patch, fast boot, bunch of little options there. Now, as you see with the list, that's how it shows up. No box arts. So once you've selected a game to boot up, it just loads up like regular. No issue with that. But I wanted to real quick show there are some controller hotkeys with the DC Digital. So holding the LR A, B, and start will reset your Dreamcast. So little in-game reset combination there. Then let's jump in the Marvel vs. Capcom 2 to showcase the on-screen display and all the options we have. So to get into the on-screen display, we're going to hold the L and R trigger, D-pad right, and B. And there we go. So we have a few options. Quickly go through them. Presets, you could have presets set up. Video is going to be where most of our stuff is. We have a scaler. We could, change the zoom if you need to, depending on monitor you're using. Aspect ratio options, go widescreen if that's what you like. Shift and crop, if you need to do some cropping action. Deinterlacer, smoothing, retro FX, this is going to be like our scan lines. You could turn on horizontal, vertical, and then change the strength, the saturation, and thickness for each. Output resolution, so we could select what resolution we want to output at, and we do have up to 1440p with this DC digital modification. And then advanced video, frame lock, color space, you can inject HDR. You have a couple options there, HDR10, HLG, and that could be beneficial depending on like the scan lines if you use that kind of stuff. And then you would hit R to save any of those options. And then in system, we can go ahead and set up our Wi-Fi, download firmware updates, and make a few other little adjustments if needed. I would highly recommend not messing with too much unless you dig into it and understand what everything does. But yeah, I am really digging this Dreamcast from Stone Age Gamer. There's still a lot I need to dig into as far as the Terra Onion mode, and more so with the DC digital, all the little options there to try to get the best out of it that I can. I mean, I just displaying it for demo purposes on this little 4K monitor. It's not going to be where I mostly play it at, but I think it's really sweet. All these different mods, the job that they've done. I do think Stone Age Gamer is a trustworthy company, and I've done tons of business with them in the past. And I know if something went wrong with these modifications, that they would handle it, take care of it. I have my faith in them as far as the work that they do. So if you're interested, yeah, take a look at stoneagegamer.com. There will be a link in the description if you want to check out their builder options for different consoles. But I mean, that's not the only stuff they do. They sell flash cards, controllers, tons of exclusive products. They have a lot of cool things there. My favorite retro gaming related store. So appreciate you guys watching and hanging out with me. I think this Dreamcast is amazing. I love it. Have a good one. Bye.